Everybody's happy? Okay, me too, which was wonderful. Thank you for joining my happy little session here. We're going to cover and focus mostly printed materials, but I want to talk first a little bit about the branding. As Colleen mentioned in my bio, I help manage operations for an interdisciplinary team, and essentially what that means is a lot of left brain and right brain people. Design, technical development, we have great video and presentation resources, print design, so it's an exciting team to work with. And then we also team up with the communications team in our public affairs group who help put together the fabulous content, and our research team. You're going to hear from them as well this afternoon. So these elements have a lot of commonality. Are you getting used to seeing this wonderful logo, the ubiquitous logo everywhere? We hope so, because that's the idea behind the branding. The look and feel, the colors, the imagery, everything that you see in these printed materials, you'll see on the website, you're going to find on the social channels. And the idea behind all that is a concept that we refer to in the design biz called user experience. So we want to engage people through psychology, through emotion, so that they feel the connection, they immediately recognize you. We want to be as recognizable as some favorite consumer brands you might have within the community. So that's why it's important for your organizations to have access to materials such as these. And we're going to talk about how you access those materials, even though I'm sure you've probably heard it a couple of times. We're going to reinforce that today. That's me, I'm Susan. Okay. We're going to cover how did we get here? How did these materials come about? How did we know how to design them? Where did the content come from? You all know that these are for individuals and for small business. We're going to talk about how we personalize or co-brand those tools, and also, again, how we access them. So how did we get there? The partnerships, Fleischman Hillard is a communication partner, Missouri Foundation for Health, Cover Missouri Coalition came together and they looked at resources put forth by the federal government. They looked at advocacy organizations such as Young Invincibles and Enroll America. And we looked at other states. We looked at Oregon, California, Colorado, Connecticut, especially from a web perspective, but holistically as well. And what we tried to do was pick out the best of all of those. That's the advantage of coming a little bit later, not first out of the gate, so we can see kind of what other people are doing and take what we really, really like, what we think is super effective, and carry that through ours. You'll have a session today again on the focus group research that was very interesting, valuable, and compelling. And coalition survey. What did we get out of those from a design standpoint? Well, we found out that there was a certain look and feel that we knew we should go for that would be the most effective. We also found out that posters were probably going to be a lot more effective than things like door hangers, just as an example. So the elements that you have, the materials that you have accessible to you out there on the table, those were the things that came back out of the research that were going to be the most usable. So you'll have to let us know through your feedback if that's the case, but we think we're on a pretty good trail. The content that is within these materials and the content on the website has been reviewed, vetted, approved by Missouri Health Policy Team and the Missouri Health Literacy Group. So please know that everything out there is certainly more than approved, and the integrity is good for all of the content. Some general tools that you will find. These are just a couple examples. Are you all wearing your stickers? They're very nice. You might want to grab some of those. Those are handy to have. And then Post-it notes will be forthcoming. And then at lunchtime, you all got to see a great presentation on the website. This is just a sample teaser of what the new website design looks like. The reason these are grouped this way is that so you can see the continuity of the design. So some of the individual tools. No, you don't really have to read this. It's not an eye chart. One of the examples I can hold up for you, and I can even pass this around to you if you want to. There's a poster. The imagery is different across the materials, and note that other than posters, we have infographics, palm cards, postcards, fact sheets, as well as FAQs. And in a second, I'm going to talk about how to co-brand those materials. And translations are planned for Tier 1 languages in the following list here. Note that some of those languages will have more extensive translations than others, and that's scheduled for September. Questions on that so far? Okay. Same deal for small business tools. For those of you who think you would probably get more use out of the individual pieces of printed materials, I would suggest that you also take a sampling of the small business materials. They're great for comparison. It's great information. Also, you never know when you might need to share that. So we have lots of materials out there, and I encourage you to please take some of those as well. So co-branding for individual and small business. On this particular slide, you'll see this red box here. Can everybody see that? Okay. When you download from Dropbox or the website, you'll save that locally onto your machine. You'll just insert the picture or your logo where on the bottom there, if in this case, in this particular sample, and save that off. And then you can print that in whatever quantity you need. It might be in a little different place on some of the different samples, but you can get the general idea. Straightforward?
So then you could use that, like if you wanted to put, not this particular thing, but some of your content in a newspaper, I can just use your materials through this feature.
If you want to use it through the newspaper, in what way?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just using that as an
Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to follow your train of thought there. It's basically just to, if you were going to use it the same way you grab the materials off the desk out there, except you want to add your logo. That's the main purpose for it.
So what's the Dropbox website again?
It's Dropbox.com. And Colleen, do you want to talk to them about how they can get access?
I'm in Dropbox, but I have my own Dropbox for the job. I don't know how to access.
Are you a member of the Cover Missouri Coalition?
Not yet, but I just sent them an email this morning.
Okay,
Okay.
so you will get a link then.
Okay.
Right. So you'll get an invite, and then you'll just share that within your own folders, because I had it too. And it's real simple. It's very, very easy to use. How many of you use Dropbox? Okay. Pretty simple? All right, good. Yes, sir.
Just a quick question. For the customizable documents, I hate to get a little techie with this, but what file format are they in? Million Hearts?
It's old school. It's
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
We were going to use Adobe, and then we got into so many people have different versions of Adobe, so we went ahead and decided that Microsoft Word's going to be the cleanest, easiest way to go, whether or not you're a Mac user or a PC user, and it's just keeps it simple.
I agree.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. All right. So order forms. When you have you picked up your materials yet? Yes, most of you have. All right. Whether you have or haven't, you might want to grab a couple of extra of these order forms. It kind of looks like a Girl Scout cookie order form. It's really cool. You've got individuals, you have small business, and then some general materials. I would take a couple of extra just so you have them on hand. The other thing that I think will be handy with this particular form is that you can keep a running tally of what you have in your own inventory so that you know when you get low, go ahead and contact us, send us the form for new materials. Also, if you have a big event coming up, if you're anticipating ordering a whole lot, please give us as much lead time as possible. If you could give us a couple weeks, that would be great. That way we can more efficiently and successfully fulfill that order. We'll try to keep some on hand, but if you're expecting like 10,000 plus, it would be good to let us know ahead of time. We appreciate that. All right. Okay. So we'll go through a couple other examples here. And no, I am not Brandy Barker. She is my colleague and not my evil twin. But she's wonderful, and she is someone who is going to be able to help with your questions as well as aggregate questions. And that way we can get back to you or at least follow up on things. Because we know there's going to be a lot of feedback. There'll be suggestions, there'll be concerns, there'll be accolades. So that way we've got one central point of collection. So feel free to email her as you're going through the materials or as you're going through the website if you see anything that poses a question or you might have an extra suggestion for us. All feedback is welcome. Any other questions? Okay. You feel like you guys all have a handle on this website and Dropbox stuff? You're nodding appropriately?
And thank you, Susan.
Thank you.